And welcome back, everyone, to Death Battle Reaction. And we got Joker from Persona 5 versus Giorno from Jojo's Persona. Or it's Persona. I don't know if it's Persona 5. By the way, brought to you by Marvel Snap. And Jojo from Giorno from Jojo's Bizarre Adventures. So, look, I gave you my prediction last week. Right now, I think I lean towards Joker, but again, I always leave my final guess for the end of the video. So let's be fair there. Real quick though, I love the fact that we immediately come back to Death Battle after Death Battle possibly not coming back. Then they said they're coming back, yeah. And then I get to see all the people talking about how Death Battle effed up Bardock versus Omni-Man so hard, including in my own comment section. So I was like, they weren't using composite Bardock. I was like, no, they weren't, because you're not always using a composite character. Like they ultimately ended up compositing Goku at the end of the Goku versus Superman video, sure, but they didn't do that for the first couple videos. They don't composite Vegeta. They don't composite a lot of characters. They try to keep as close to canon as possible, and they even gave him Super Saiyan, which isn't technically canon. So, guys, their logic, honestly, I felt their logic was, now there were a couple things that did feel a little not right. Like the planet feat, yes, but when he destroyed the planet, which was much larger than the worlds that, like, say, Vegeta did. But remember, Vegeta destroyed 3 worlds at the same time, King Vegeta. And Bardock was like with 3 other Viltrumites that when they destroyed that planet. So at best you could say he was contributing to a third of that. So I will concede, I think they maybe messed that up. I do think they maybe messed that up, which would mean then that power output-wise, Bardock theoretically should have won. But if they ever do explain maybe the logic behind that a little bit more, maybe we'll have something different to go off of. But otherwise, like, guys, we just got Death Battle back, and you're fine to disagree with it. You're fine to. I'm not arguing that at all. At all. Not literally, not at all. I'm arguing you can't disagree. But I saw so many people giving them shit. Like in the comments, in my own comment. Not necessarily like giving them shit, but just telling them, they screwed it up. By the way, person in comment who said, nah, Bardock won. I'm like, dude, I'm going to tell you right now, don't comment in my videos if you're going to keep doing that crap. Like, I don't care if you disagree with me or someone else's opinion or anything like that. And I don't care if you think someone else should have won. A, back up your statement. And B, just negating someone else's opinion by saying, nah, they won, is one of those things that gets on my nerves. Like, dude, you basically just don't care about a video unless it matches your opinion. That's it. We watch videos to be entertained, but also sometimes to see if someone can sway our opinion. But that mindset of just like, nah, this is when you're wrong. You're not looking to try to engage or be a part of anything. You're just looking for people with your own ideologies. In that case, fine, but then just don't comment, because I just find those very childish and very immature comments. You might be asking, why is it immature? Because that's not showing any growth as a human being. That's not maybe accepting, maybe my opinion was wrong. At least debate your opinion is what I'm trying to say. At least back up your debates. Other people in the comments when I did the last reaction at least backed up their arguments. Whether I agree with it or not, that's irrelevant. Some of it I agree with, some of it I don't agree with. But, whatever. But at least back up your argument. So, okay, I went on enough. Let's get to it. All right. And then okay, it's going to be a little bit more
Joker versus Giorno.
The Phantom Thief of Hearts and Jojo's Golden.
I'm trying to think. It's going to be a little bit more.
Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Then, you know what? They just went right to it. Okay.
Amamiya wasn't prepared for
I've already seen the intro, so
when he
I'll
witnessed
talk
an
over
innocent
this,
woman being
avoid
harassed
copyright.
and stepped in, he had no idea her assailant was one of Japan's most prominent politicians.
This is interesting that Wiz and Boomstick are back. I wonder if it's going to be either an off-and-on thing, or for the first episode they just decided not to be there. Because that was the first episode in production, maybe they didn't have the budget to have their characters there.
adventures. Ren and his new
all right,
friends
that's
found
fine,
themselves
whatever.
in a whole
Hey,
new
I
world.
like having the
The
avatar there.
metaverse.
Actually, I'm gonna have to look again to
let's
see
scary.
if
Yeah, that one.
Derived
see
from
if
the
they
works
look
of
any
Carl
different.
Jung,
Anyway.
this collective unconscious is like an alternate reality formed
Matrix,
from the
pretty much.
amalgamated thoughts and feelings of mankind. What humans believe, or even what they fear, directly shapes it.
And
Interesting.
inside this crazy mental
I've heard of
realm,
this game
those
series
who have been
before many
corrupted
times.
by power and abuse the weak have become evil superpowers.
Gotcha.
Just like how they're viewed by many of their victims in the real world. Victims like Ren and his friends, Ryuji, An, Makoto, Pancakes, and
Pancakes.
the Animal.
They
The
may have been
animal.
helpless against crushing institutional might in the real
We
world,
saw the
but
crocodile.
in the metaverse, they had a way to fight back. Persona.
As part of the summoner's inner self, personas can become incredibly powerful spirits.
Kind of like
By
your
using
own
their
Fox
personas
show,
to battle
but
their foes
you know,
in
and
the
it
metaverse and
stands
steal
together,
their
kind of.
hearts, the source of their moral corruption, Ren and company could cause such foes to repent in the real world. So the friends formed a band called the Phantom Thieves, with Ren as their leader, codenamed Joker.
And
All right, then,
Joker's
here we
first
go.
persona was the awesome Arsene.
With razor-sharp claws and the ability
It's
to
cool
curse
looking, I
enemies
give it
with
that.
dark energy, Arsene was an
Little-
excellent persona.
A little
to start with.
Alucardy,
But
a
Joker's
little.
a wild card.
There's another look
Literally,
I'm getting
he
off of that
can
too.
capture as many personas
Little
as
Jojo
he wants.
too.
He's gotta catch them all because they each have their own crazy powers. From shooting fire, ice, and lightning to dishing out status effects, healing, and resistances.
As
to
the
blocking
almighty skills
actual
bypass any
nukes at the
defense.
baddies.
So
that could be
Joker
important.
Can fight with manifestations of deities like
Alucard users have
Beelzebub,
access to the
Odin,
room during
and
combat during
Jesus Christ.
Wow, he looks way different than in the paintings I've seen. Oh, wait, did you know that a persona is connected to their user's own stamina? So when a persona is shattered, even though it's not like dead, it does rattle
Yeah.
the user pretty badly.
Well, without his personas, Joker
Yeah.
can still rely on his guns, grappling hooks, smoke bombs, etc.
Might
Yeah,
not
it's still
sound like
enough.
much compared to summoning actual Satan, but in the metaverse, perception is reality. No, really, it actually works like that.
In the real world, Joker's gun is only a prop. However, with Joker's reputation in the metaverse, this prop becomes a god killer.
Yeah,
As
oh,
the
right
Phantom
on.
Thieves' reputation increased, so did their power, simply because that's how they were perceived.
Kinda like how
that's
personas are
interesting.
empowered by the social links Joker possesses
So,
with his friends.
if
Yes,
this
in the
fight
world
is
of
taking place in the
Persona,
meta, which we
hanging out
assume
with
it
your
has
buds
to.
makes you stronger. Anime! Game!
At their
Power
max,
friendship.
social links can bring a wild card user back from the brink of death,
Ooh.
instilling them with willpower greater than the rest of humanity combined.
Ah,
I
jeez.
guess meticulously gardening your friends like a sociopath
I
has its
right
benefits.
now it's
Hey,
sounding
Wiz,
like how the hell
cold
is
one
Giorno
on
gonna
me.
win? But
Thanks. Looks like our relationship meter's maxed out.
Oh,
There you
yeah. Well, guess there's no point to us hanging out anymore. Later, loser, I'm gonna go do untested pharmaceuticals and date my teacher.
what the hell?
Wait, date your what?
U.S. Family
All
Health
right.
Plan.
I don't have
Before
ad
TRICARE-
blocker, so we're just gonna mute that for right now. Take my teacher. What?
Course of his adventures leading the
Alright.
Phantom Thieves, Joker's bonds made him as powerful as the gods he commands.
Indeed.
He can dodge Lucifer's Morning Star, which summons an energy beam that travels several light years in seconds,
Oh,
millions
jeez.
of times faster than light.
Oh,
Or
God, that's a
survive
speed beat I don't
cheeseburger
think
that
Giorno's gonna be
exploded big
matching.
enough to eclipse a nebula. Talk about having stomach
jeez.
problems. No wonder Joker can face off
Tank
against
the Nebula
opponents
size
that can
Big Bang
reshape
Burger
all of
fought equal
reality.
ground
Like
with
Maruki,
you
who used
no,
the metaverse to rewrite all of reality to fit his
Oh,
desires.
jeez.
Or Yaldabaoth, who merged the real world and metaverse together.
It
Oh,
was in
God.
this battle with Yaldabaoth that Joker upgraded Arsene to create Sataniel, the biblical
Sataniel.
angel of vengeance.
With a big-ass gun.
Holy
or
crap.
save this reality,
Yeah,
bitch.
right now
Its primary attack,
look, I
Sinful
know
Shell, is
we'll
imbued
get
with what is
into
known as
it's called
Almighty
Golden
Energy,
Rule, right? That's
which
the
can bypass any defense, even that from
Yep.
the omnipotent orb,
Oh,
which can
jeez.
explicitly rewrite reality.
Yes, very good. Big-ass gun win.
And with a shot heard around the world, Joker and his friends proved that
Like,
you're never
dear
too young to
God
choose
almighty,
sin
is
for
this
the
guy,
better,
like, kind
no
of
matter
broken
how
in many
arduous
ways.
the forces against you may be.
If the man is keeping you down, just call up the Phantom Thieves to put them in their place.
Like, at this point, why does he
They'll
need
never
any of
see
the
it
other
coming.
Phantom Thieves to help him? Like, seriously.
As far back as he could remember,
Yeah, but-
Giorno Giovanna always wanted to be a gangster.
Cause damn it feels good to be a gangster. Gone are the days of leaving horse heads in your enemy's bed or squeezing
but,
their head in a vice
yeah,
to
I
get
mean,
Giorno wanted to be a different kind of
I
gangster.
gotta hear everything
Or
Giorno can do,
progressive,
because
heterosexual
from
kind
a
of mob boss.
scaling
gang
output.
star.
A shy,
That sounds like a
withdrawn boy
stomp
on the streets of
Joker's neighbor
Naples,
right now.
Giorno's life changed the day he saved a wounded mobster.
There you
In
go.
return, he was rewarded with
I'll never
future
forget what you
protection
did,
from abuse
Cutie.
and isolation. This act of reciprocal kindness convinced Giorno of the value of the mob as a social organization. If only it was commanded by the right person.
Someone like
Then he
Giorno,
suddenly goes
all
blonde.
he had to do was
And
take
fold his
control
ear
of the
into his head.
Neapolitan Mafia,
Neat trick.
Passione,
Biologic son of Dio
and their
Brando and
army of
Jonathan Joe
superpowered
Star
assassins.
It's
Ambitious?
like,
Maybe.
like
But hey,
octopus
he's the
salad. Ooh,
bastard son of
gangsters
the
in that
insane
town.
vampire
I've had
Bruce
octopus
Lord
salad.
himself,
It makes me want to just eat
Who
octopus, quite frankly.
conceived
The
Giorno
octopus
while
is like, oh my
possessing
God,
the
it's so
body
good.
of his arch enemy, Jonathan Joestar. This technically makes Giorno both a Brando and a Jojo.
hence the name Jojo. Get it?
Well, he
Jojo
didn't
Giorno.
just inherit the name, but also the Joestar bloodline's
Psychic
power.
stands.
Giorno possesses a stand, gold experience.
Gold experience,
Stands
that's
are
what it is.
invisible, intangible, punchy ghosts that protect their user and come with incredible superpowers,
It's
like stopping time.
I mean, it's not as
making
cool looking as,
fiction
say,
into
Star
reality,
Platinum or
or
The World, though. But,
cooking
you know.
Italian food. God damn, give me that one.
And Giorno's gold experience has perhaps the
Damage
greatest
reflection,
potential of
healing,
any
places
stand
missing
in
body
the
can
series.
create that
With
exceeds
just a
deadly
touch,
poison,
it can
tangibility.
imbue
Light
inanimate
creates
objects
any
with
plant or
golden
life
life
overloads
energy.
target
Turning them
senses.
into any plant or animal in an instant.
Okay,
and
so
back
that thing
again.
can reflect
Giorno
damage
uses
does
this with
mean he may have an
maximum
out.
creativity, like disguising a gun as a banana so you accidentally blow your own brains out. A gorilla's worst nightmare.
Giorno is, frankly,
I believe
a
it's more that he
super
turned the
genius when
gun
it
into a
comes to
banana
gold
and then back
experience's
into a gun.
ability.
Like transforming bullets into flesh to heal the very wounds they made, or changing a brick into a snake that can detect body heat and find a hidden enemy, or turning his teeth into a special kind of jellyfish that filters out the toxins in the piss he was drinking. I thought I was the only one who did that.
Should the object Giorno gives life to be a part of a greater whole, like turning a tooth into a fly, it will attempt to return to its original
Fly came back
source.
in, that's
Not
the-
only that, any
Interesting.
damage Giorno's creations receive will be reflected onto the
Okay,
opponent.
through
Giorno can even imbue
creations, not
living
him
things with
specifically.
this same energy. This supercharges the target's consciousness, causing them to outpace their physical body and leaving them totally helpless to counterattack.
It
Now,
might seem
I don't
like
know
you
if that
got
means
10
it would
times
affect the
faster,
sta-
but
the,
you're actually
persona, though,
experiencing
itself.
time at a way slower rate, while
Yeah.
your body is stuck in the same position. Imagine a Muda to the nuts felt for 20 straight seconds. Forget about it.
Especially when you're hitting as hard as Gold Experience. According to the Jojo Veller art book
Oh,
written by
okay.
the mangaka himself, Gold Experience has a speed rating of A, putting him in the same league as stands like Star Platinum
Platinum
and
and
Silver Chariot,
Silver
which are
Chariot.
faster than light.
Except
And although his
speed-wise,
strength
that doesn't
is
mean
only
jack
a
shit.
C, he can still shatter cars like glass. and
Doesn't
keep
matter,
up
like,
with ace weight
it's-
stands like sticky fingers. Perfect
Stat-wise,
for a
he's still
merciless
completely
stand rep that
outclassed
lasts
right now.
7 pages long. Daddy Dio must be so proud.
With Gold Experience at his side, Giorno joined Passione and rose to challenge its reclusive leader, Diavolo.
Wait. Diavolo? You're telling me that Giorno, the son of God, battles the devil, just like Jesus, whose full biblical name is Yeshua, or Joshua, Ben Joseph, Joshua Joseph,
Yeah.
Jojo.
Before moving on, Diavolo's goal was to get his hands on a stand arrow. And when a
Okay.
stand is pierced by a stand arrow, it evolves.
So,
Oh,
Do you know
I
the
hate,
US Solar
I hate
Company?
ads right now. So, what does the evolved gold experience act like? All right, there we go. What is the evolved gold
Joe got it
experience?
first and transformed Gold Experience into the most broken thing in
Gold
anime.
Chariot?
Gold Experience
Requiem. That was it. Now that
Requiem
looks
stands
cooler.
change the rules entirely. It's almost like they elevate your stand beyond the need for combat.
Dance like
Gold
fiends.
Experience Requiem can, in short, negate any action taken against it and return it to a state of 0,
All right.
shifting reality back to square one.
Let's say I woke up this morning, got myself a gun, and fired it at Giorno. With Gold Experience Requiem, no matter how accurate I am, the shot will always miss because I never fired my gun.
Because
That is returned to 0. And also a
Interesting.
horrific example of gun safety. This applies to any attack made against Requiem, including from Diavolo's stand
But
King Crimson.
what about
which
Giorno?
can infamously skip time, erasing the universe for
Oh,
10
jeez.
seconds. And Requiem negated that.
It undid time being erased, Well,
Okay,
time was
then.
already erased, which meant there was
So
no
this
time
is-
to unerase the erased
This
time.
is stats and hacks versus hacks.
That's right, Boomstick. Requiem's ability acts independently of time itself.
Joy.
Sound crazy? Well, Requiem can counter the stand made in heaven, which can accelerate time across the whole universe into infinity. So
Oh,
that kind of
jeez.
range of Requiem's ability is actually consistent.
It also reduces your willpower to 0, so you can't even fight back.
Even your
jeez.
death can be returned to 0. After pummeling Diavolo into pulp, Requiem prevented him from dying, forcing him to relive the experience of being killed
basically
over
killed
and
over and
in a
over again.
series
That's-
of never-ending
that
alternate
is
universe
horrifying.
for eternity.
Just when you thought you were out, Requiem pulls you back
Okay.
in. The second
We're-
you hear that piano start playing,
Here's-
run.
now-
And
here's
so
the
Giorno took
time
control of
delay
Passione
situation.
and
Okay,
turned it
Black
into the
Sabbath,
peacekeeping social
a part faster
organization
than
he
light
always
stands.
dreamed about.
With its streets free of drugs, Italy's youth could rest
So,
easy.
I'm gonna
Their hopes and dreams could
Go all the
be
way to the
killed.
beginning. All right.
Hit.
Whew. So until we got the evolution into Gold Experience Requiem, it looked like it was a stunt for Joker, absolutely. But Requiem is broken, and it honestly seems like it can counter possibly everything that Joker throws at him. Now, Joker does have a lot of things that, the almighty attack, which bypasses everything. But he can just erase his own, negate his own death. So, oh, God. Oh. But then again, this is all Requiem, not Giorno himself. That's the problem. Oh, my God, that's the problem. Okay. I'm going to go with my gut here. I'm going to say Giorno. Based on that. All right, let's find out. Let's go with a death battle.
Battle!
Yeah. All right, then.
Gold Experience.
Are set.
Oh, they're just starting out. Okay.
Giorno Giovanna, your heart is twisted.
Is it?
Ours to take.
Okay. The rigging on these puppets is a little odd.
My dreams aren't yours to take.
Order.
Persona!
Owie.
Never see it coming.
It makes sense that these two would be able to interact with each other, too. The Persona and the stand are pretty much the same. Interesting. Okay, so Joker was able to perceive that happening. Unfortunately, Joker's still got plenty of tricks up his sleeve.
Alice!
Die for me. Die for me.
Second stand.
Being attacked by mutant teddy bears. Okay, oh, growing a giant forest. Spider-Man.
You never took the time to understand my gold experience.
Flex the damage back.
Objects given life by gold experience desire to return home.
Order. I mean, this is not a bad fight. And it doesn't help that I'm.
Creates life.
I
Got to nullify that.
Jack Frost! Icy!
can he nullify the nullification ability? I guess that's the question. Possible? Maybe? Oh, he's evolved now.
Jack Frost! Icy!
Oh, come on! In the middle of the fight, you. Oh! Alright, and there we go. Alright, where were we? Come on.
Circle Phantasma is justice. This is Requiem.
This is the Requiem. Except he can come back from near death.
Won't allow it, Joker!
Keep fighting. You can do it.
If you die now,
Joker's got
I'll
it!
kill you again myself.
Power of friendship. There we
You
go.
didn't hear me before. Checkmate.
Simple shell. Yeah, unfortunately, he's not going to be able to stop that. But he can negate his own death, can't he? Ah, darn it! I should have. Second time around, I stoned my guts. Should have gone with the first choice.
Giorno never had the makings of a varsity death battle winner.
This was an absolutely fascinating matchup and far from an easy call.
Joker versus base gold experience.
Oh, we're still doing these again, which I like.
Sure, Giorno's powers threw Joker for a loop, but Joker and his personas were millions of times faster
Yeah, no.
and could take on Universe Busters.
I thought,
And there was no
you know, I
doubt
thought
Joker
when they
could
said
see
having that
Giorno's
maybe
stand,
stat-wise that
considering he
made
could spot
Requiem
similar
match.
beings like shadows.
Add in the versatility of Joker's hundreds of
Yeah.
personas, and Giorno could get quickly overwhelmed.
But that's where Requiem came in, and the game changed.
With its ability
Joker
to
versus
nullify
Requiem.
any action taken against
Yep.
it, even ones that can affect entire universes,
Yep.
Joker's regular arsenal was rendered moot.
Remember, Requiem could act independently of time, so Joker wouldn't be able to avoid
But,
Requiem's
yeah, that negates the
ability.
speed of
He'd
it.
have to beat it outright.
Take when the Phantom Thieves faced Maruki. The group couldn't resist the reality warping effects of his powers. He even had an ability that nullified actions against him,
Yep.
similar to Gold Experience Requiem.
But
Yep.
Joker still had an ace up his sleeve. While Requiem can reduce your willpower to 0, Joker's social links were able to recharge him.
And finally, we
Okay,
have Joker's
see, I didn't-
almighty
mm,
attacks,
see, I didn't
which could
remember- I
bypass
didn't know that
reality
part.
warping defenses like the Omnipotent Orb. The
That's
perfect
a lot.
counter for Requiem.
Yep.
This is actually
Okay.
backed up
Yeah.
in Jojo.
Should
While
have gone with
Requiem
Joker
only
for
has
my
one
first
appearance
guess.
in the manga,
Just like you
it
should have
did
gone
show
on with
up
me on
in
the
the
first
game,
guess.
Eyes
I'm
of
0 for
Heaven.
2 in
There
this
it
series.
faced off against the World Over Heaven, which can overwrite reality to overpower any attack, including Requiem's return to 0. That meant an almighty attack that can bypass reality warping
Yep.
would have the same effect, giving Joker the
More
option he
versatile
needed to
options.
land a killing blow against Requiem's perfect defense.
Dio is such a dick, he literally ruined his own son's death battle.
Giorno was brilliant, but Joker had the versatility, experience, and almighty power for the final blow.
Giorno missed his golden opportunity.
I
and
should have
had a
gone with
shell
my
of a
gut in the
time.
Joker. It wasn't a bad fight.
Hey,
It
wait,
wasn't one of my
hear
more
what I said? I
favorite
said
fights. It
Giorno
wasn't a
missed
bad
his
fight.
golden opportunity
some cool
and he had
stuff.
a shell of a time.
The winner is Joker.
Next time on
All right, is it going to be one of the
Death
ones I've
Battle.
already guessed? Eggflea, Bowser versus Robotnik. All right, I've already guessed it. I've already done a prediction for this one. So that was the death battle. Wasn't bad. I've seen better, certainly, but it certainly wasn't bad. I enjoyed it for what it was. I really don't like the ads popping up now, but what are you gonna do? But to be fair, they also need to have the ads because they're independent now. So let's put it this way: if you are doing the ad blocker, just keep that in mind that they do kind of need the ads now for revenue. Yeah, but regardless, I still enjoyed myself with that fight. I like the other one a lot better. That was a good season opener. This was just a good episode. It was perfectly fine. Yeah, it wasn't god awful. Again, I would say that the rigging on the models was a little puppety. Like the rigging wasn't the best at the beginning. I thought it was more they were going to be more custom, like animated, but it still looked fine. Again, I should have gone with my original guess, but when we saw just how busted Requiem Gold Experience Requiem was, that I'm like, oh, I need to maybe rethink things. But it is what it is. Anyway, that's the fight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks 3 weeks technically, because each week they got to do a little preview of each one for Bowser versus Robotnik. Until then, thanks for watching. See you next time, folks.